A very good day to you. I'm Howard Feldman. This is a Synthesis podcast with me, Howard Feldman. And today I'm joined by a new company called LayUp Technologies. It was founded in 2018. And I'm very, very excited this morning to be joined by Andrew Katzwinkel, who is the founder and CEO. Andrew, good morning to you. How are you?
Very, very good morning to you, Howard. Thanks very much for having me today, and looking forward to telling you a little bit about LayUp Technologies.
Yeah, so I know you operate in the B2B space, B2C space. I know you're about payments, but give us a sense of what LayUp is.
So LayUp is a digital lay-by system. We have transitioned and taken lay-by payments into a new era of digital payments. And really we're here to assist businesses in improving their prepayment space or the lay-by space within the market. Lay-bys have been in a massive a payment method that is used by millions of people here in South Africa. And we're here to really revolutionize that payment method and take it into a new era.
Is lay-by a word that is predominantly a South African word? Because it's very familiar within our lexicon, but I don't know if it's used abroad at all.
Well, I would say within Africa, most definitely,
okay.
and the likes of Australia, they also refer to it as lay-by. But in the European region, they do have other terms for it.
Okay, so explain to me how lay-bys traditionally work, and then we can start to look at how you are bringing change to this area.
So traditionally, a lay-by has always been done from an in-store level. It's never been online. Okay. So you physically would go into the store, you would pick your item, be it a retail item, be it a technology item like a washing machine or a dishwasher, etc. And you would take it to the counter and you would want to ask, do you accept lay-bys? Can I start a lay-by payment plan? And it was designed to allow people to defer payments over a period of time that was interest-free and allowed the consumer the freedom and the relief that they needed in order to break down those payments and pay for that item over time.
And to manage.
The way that it's always been done is that you would activate in store via cash or a card payment at the point of sale. But then what would happen you would have to come back to the store every single time you needed to make a subsequent payment. Now, This is generally for the consumer that doesn't have transport, that may be staying quite a far distance away from where they actually the retailer is, and they have to now manage and monitor this and make the time out of their busy days in order to come back to that store to make those incremental payments over a period of time. And today with LayUp, what we've done is we've totally automated and removed that admin and friction for both merchant and consumer. So it's now a total digital experience. You can now activate and use lay-bys online, which prior to us, you couldn't do that. And now you can also do it in store from a digital experience where you activate once and never have to come back in store again. So the beauty of this is a win-win solution for both merchant and customer, because merchant is going to get an increase in completion rates, is going to improve their customer experience of this widely used payment method. But the consumer itself is going to now have a much better experience of being able to know of how far along they are, what are the terms of this lay-by, and all the easy and great ways and great features that we've built to easily make payments for the consumer. So they can pay anytime, anywhere, off their mobile device or their desktop computer. There are various places across South Africa where LayUp now is accepted, where they can go to that area and actually make a payment towards their lay-by, as well as go into any store. So if it's a franchise store like one of your larger retailers, they can actually now go to their closest retailer and just make a subsequent payment for their lay-by, which is solving a big problem in South Africa.
In other words, does a store contract with LayUp, or does to provide the system, or does the consumer a contract with LayUp to facilitate their payments? How does it work?
So from a governance point of view, Howard, we are a registered TPPP, which means that we're a third-party payment provider that's been approved through PASA. And essentially, we are the middleman between merchant and consumer. Now,
Right.
this is designed in a way to, one, also add a level of credibility and add a level of security for both merchant and consumer. Because we sit within the middle, we can now start providing a layer of technology that ensures that both the consumer is protected as well as the merchant is protected, obviously governing through the law, like the CPA law on the consumer side, and then obviously the business. So the system itself that we've developed will enable the business to structure the lay-by payments the way that they want to. So how best their business works. Do they want to provide a 6-month lay-by? Do they want to provide a 10%?
Right. That's going to be my next question. Do they have that flexibility to decide how to manage their lay-bys?
Yes, most certainly. So this is why we built the system in this way, because when actually looking at this payment method, it's a very fragmented market. So every person is doing it in a different way, and it ranges from your mom and pop stores right up to your massive enterprise retailers that are in the market that are providing this payment method. So we built a system that can actually tap into one, various verticals, but two, also different size of businesses because of their different needs. And our system is designed to really collect, reconcile, and settle these payments so that it becomes very transparent as being one key component, and two, very credible and safe to use in the market.
If there is someone defaults along the way, I would imagine recourse still sits between the merchant and the consumer.
Correct. So the merchant is creating their lay-by terms and conditions, and they are slotting into the configuration settings of our lay-by system. So the consumer is still contracting with the retailer or with the business. Our system is the facilitator and system that actually collects and transfers those funds between merchant and consumer.
Right, and it's really does it sit on an app? How does it look to the consumer?
So we are a web-based app at the moment. We will be developing out a consumer-based app for consumers to download. But essentially, we are a payment method on the online checkout flow of a e-commerce website. And from an in-store point of view, we have developed functionality to sit on the point-of-sale systems. So either online,
that's a huge thing that you can go to make those payments into your debt wherever you are.
Yeah, and not only that, now that business that has a brick and mortar store can now absorb our technology, use our technology in a way that's going to improve their completions, increase revenue for them, increase returning customers, and the basket size of those orders. We've seen a lift of up to 30% on merchants that are using our system because people are checking out with larger basket size orders because of the deferred payments. The lay-by payment methods has inherently protected the consumer. The consumer doesn't have to go through a credit check to use a lay-by system. So it's instant approval. You can be a foreigner to use a lay-by payment method. And you can be, a non-credit worthy individual. So this could be a consumer that is the ages of 18 to 25 years old, that hasn't yet built up a credit rating, or potentially a bad debtor who's now locked out of the economy and now can use a payment method that is going to help them save for something worthwhile on the horizon without going into unwarranted debt.
Does it allow cross-checking and cross-references? In other words, if I go into store A and I purchase something on a lay-by, I go to store B, C, D, and E. Have you looked at that?
Well, this is the system that we're really developing. So we are a startup. We launched in 2018, but we have been working on this project for a lot longer than that. And we're really trying to develop a system that will allow for this information to be transferred between people, because what we are tackling is the consumer that is unlocked out of the economy, the consumer that is almost forgotten about in South Africa. Can we enable them to use a payment method that is very low risk, and it creates financial inclusion along the journey? So can we take that data and that consumer purchase behavior of that customer and actually enable them to get into a credit-worthy status? And therefore, obviously, assisting them on this journey to creating financial inclusion throughout Africa.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So now, tell me about your journey. Where are you in your process?
So still startup phase. And most definitely, we see ourselves at the bottom of the mountain. And the mountain is a very tall mountain, but we in the game, and that's the most exciting thing for us and our team. I've managed, lucky enough, to surround myself with very, very smart individuals, people that are committed, and we are all driving forward on kind of really the same purpose and same goal here. So it's an exciting project to work on. I'm very, very appreciative of the opportunity that I get to have at going at this. And I do hope that in time we can really add value to society and to both businesses and consumers in South Africa and Africa.
And the runway, what do you see over the next 6 months to a year? What do you want to achieve?
Oh, we've got very audacious goals ahead of us.
Brilliant, love that.
And it's for us, it's about continuing to build out our technology. We're still at a very much of a development phase. It's about creating relationships with our businesses in the country, and providing a world-class service. Let's actually change the game by really pushing boundaries within the financial services space in South Africa. Let's really roll up our sleeves and provide a world-class service to businesses to grow our economy, to create jobs, to actually then hopefully spill over into the end consumer that's actually learning how to systematically save for those things worthwhile on the horizon without going into that unwarranted debt. I said that earlier. I've said it, and I've been saying it for 5 years, where if we can start providing more transparent ways that really assist and help the end consumer to getting the things that they need and improving their lives, we can all live in a better country.
If anybody wants to get hold of you to look at perhaps utilizing the service, how do they go about doing that?
Straight through the website. It's www.layup.co.za. You can also contact us through all the social media channels. We have a call center, 087 094 5555. But if you pop us a mail on our website, our support center will get in touch with you, and we would love to chat and tell you more about LayUp.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I can tell you right now that we're going to check in with you in a couple of months, because it's always great to record these podcasts and then in a few months revisit that and see how this journey is going along and how you guys are doing. So Andrew Katzwinkel, who is the founder and CEO of LayUp Technologies, I wish you luck on the journey. We're certainly going to follow the path that you are taking, and we'll check in with you soon. I'm Howard Feldman. This is a synthesis of podcast with me, Howard Feldman, chatting this morning to Andrew Katzwinkel from the company LayUp Technologies. Have a great day. God bless.